Hi everyone, I'm going to introduce to the Eclipse Protocol. Before diving into the key points, let's know what the problem exists in the market and what's the solution that Eclipse Protocol solves. The best trading strategies in the crypto often stay away from on-chain capital because exposing the strategy means exposing the edge. It can be copied or front-run. At the same time, investors who want to access these strategies have to trust a black box with their capital. Eclipse solves this issue by separating the strategy from the capital. While coming into the architecture, the strategy's trading logic runs inside the trusted execution environment. The strategy itself never leaves the enclave, only a signed trade instruction comes out. Flare's FDC verifies the attestation proof, and only verified instructions can reach the vault. The result execution and performance are recorded on chain. You can visualize this in the dashboard. The key point here is the strategy stays private, while its performance becomes publicly verifiable. While coming to the dashboard, here is the Eclipse Protocol landing page, Verifiable Alpha, Invisible Strategy. Trading strategies run inside the hardware attested trusted execution environment. Investors verify every trade and every dollar of performance on chain without ever seeing the strategy itself. Here is the vault our deployed Eclipse strategy on the Flare Coston2. The strategy is registered with the protocol while the execution environment is associated with the verified enclave. You can visualize every transaction, the approaches as well. These operations aren't simulated. We can independently verify the transaction directly on the Flare networks, on the Flare Coston2. We can visualize every logs on this in the terminal of library layer logs. For every 5 minutes when the trade hits, it actually checks for the previous trade with how much amount, and then if the trade moves 0.5%, you place a trade, and we can verify that in the on-chain. The strategist isn't sent to the front end, and it isn't exposed to the investors. The execution happens inside the enclave. You can visualize the transaction of that visualize enclave, and the enclave produces a signed instruction which goes through the verification pipeline before being submitted to the vault. The vault was already connected and it has 700 shares, so we can deposit and redeem that amount for around 700 shares. From the investor's perspective, the strategy is simple. They don't need to access the trading logic. They interact with the vault. We can visualize the vault here. They can withdraw it as well. This was the Eclipse Alpha Vault shares. You can visualize this and the token transfers and all, the mock USDC and the Flare. While the investor's capital goes into the vault, while the strategy stays private, you already know. And don't trust our UI, verify the transaction yourself. You can visualize every transaction on the block squad. This was currently an MVP. The next stage is to expand beyond the initial deployment. We can post hackathon after security audit of vault and register the contract and mainnet deployment, supporting more strategies, broader execution infrastructure, stronger attestation infrastructure, and more permissionless strategies and investor experience. Eclipse Protocol makes the alpha verifiable without making the strategy visible. Verifiable alpha, invisible strategy. The contributors of this MVP are I am Anand. I am dealing with the backend and infrastructure, while the code blockers, whose name is Kundan, he is actually dealing with the contracts and the front end part.